Would you like to accelerate your career and reach your full potential in just minutes a day? Welcome to the LEADx Show with New York Times best-selling author and Inc. 500 entrepreneur, Kevin Kruse.
Hey everyone. Happy Friday. Kevin Kruse here. Hope you're having a great week. Spring is finally here. I've got a couple of warm days. It's a new baseball season. My Philadelphia Phillies are in first place, which means they are 1-0 and tied with two other teams for first place. Hope your baseball team's doing well. So, hey, it's the Wrapup Show. I'm going to talk about the value bombs that were laid out by our guests in a few minutes. I'm also going to answer the question of the week, which is, what do you do about your early start on the day, powering through your MIT when you've got a super long commute to work? But first, I just want to say congratulations. Congratulations on being awesome. If you're listening to the LEADx show, if you're visiting leadx.org, you are among the elite who is spending time getting better. You're investing in your own success. You are investing time into being, a high potential. They call them hypos in the big companies. There's not everybody that's committed to personal development. And it's a good thing too, because, it's good that you're here now, that you're getting better, 1% better every single day, because it isn't going to get any easier. I think, so many people have those bosses who either they just don't care about them, or they don't spend the time to coach them or to guide you or to mentor you in your career. Companies, they're all saying to do, more with less. So how do we do that? Even if you're a solo entrepreneur or some other kind of entrepreneur, it's a great time to be an entrepreneur, but competition is fierce. There's more global competition than ever before. And hey, you can laugh, but I think it's 10 or 20 years before those AI robots, those super smart robots start taking our jobs. But they ain't going to take your job, because you will be in the top 10% in whatever you do. I firmly believe, all you need to do, if you are in the top 10% in sales, if you're a top 10% manager, if you're a top 10% teacher, whatever it is that you do, if you're in the top 10%, there will always be opportunities. There will always be lucrative opportunities. You are going to be okay. And it's the people who are, goofing off and spending all of their time watching Dancing with the Stars, or their football pools, or fantasy baseball, or whatever it is. It's going to have some fun, but invest in yourself. So anyway, good job on that. Congratulations for being part of an elite few. And by the way, we just broke 100 reviews on iTunes, 101 as of this morning. So big thanks for all of you who have done that. And here's the two favorites. If you're a favorite, if I read out your review on the show, email me at kevin@leadx.org and we'll send you something fun. I'll send you a free LEADx t-shirt. So here's the first one. James Rich 3 wrote, "Make the most of yourself with LEADx. LEADx has revolutionized my morning commute and overall well-being. I think we might steal that as a slogan, James Rich 3. Make the most of yourself." And then here's one from Needleballs. Subject, Dynamite. Actually, I think he just said dynamite, but I'm using the character JJ from the old show Good Times. Definitely dating myself. Dynamite. Kevin spreads the gunpowder around his guests and they have all the matches. The result is an explosion of thoughts, knowledge, and ideas. That is some very fine writing, if I do say so myself. And did I just say needle balls? Anyway, they get t-shirts this week, and congratulations to Noel Turk, who won one of our books as a LEADx ambassador this week. Now listen, you heard it here first. For April, I haven't even told my team this yet, the April giveaway for LEADx ambassadors, we're going to give away an Amazon Echo. I've got an Echo in each of my two homes. I love the thing. You can always take the Amazon Echo or take the cash. I don't care. So if you want to be in on this raffle, you want to be in on the ambassador program, just leave a short, honest review on iTunes. Send an email to kevin@leadx.org to let me know, and we'll send you an invitation link. You can join the private Facebook group. Lots of giveaways and a lot of fun. All right, so question of the week. Last week, I had talked about how to turn a regular thank you into a 3-part strategic thank you. This week, we got a question from Bob Valenti about, fitting in your MIT time when you've got a super long commute. Specifically, here's Bob's question. Okay, Bob wrote in, says, I'm a big believer in getting an early start to the day. I'm up at 5 a.m. I catch the 6:06 or 6:29 train. Then I take the subway from there on to the path into Jersey City. I get into the office between 7:30 and 7:50, have my breakfast, first bottle of water, and try to knock out my MIT. But I feel like I only have until 9 a.m. or maybe 10 a.m. on slower days before the workday is in full swing. Everything takes over. My question is, what advice do you have for someone with a long commute who gets up early but isn't in a great position to be truly productive first thing in the morning? Okay, Bob, listen, here's the good news. You're killing it, my friend. I mean, the big win is just having an MIT. Most people don't know what their most important task for the day is. Put a win on top of that. You want to stack it up. Write your MIT down. Dan Pink said, scrawl it on your whiteboard. My friend, recording artist Rachel Yamagata, she prints out her calendar and then scrawls it in handwriting in a big red ink on her calendar. It's visual and it's visceral. So just the fact that you know what your MIT is, hopefully you've written it down, that's a huge win. And then the fact that you're trying to work on your MIT first thing in the morning when you're cognitively at your best and before all that other stuff in the day happens, these are all wins. You're doing it right already. I think if you can get consistent 30 minutes a day on your MIT, 1 hour a day on your MIT, I mean, that is great. 1 hour is great. If you're someone who's getting 2 hours a day on your MIT, I mean, you're in like 0.1%. So Bob, if you're getting to your desk and getting a half hour or an hour of work on your MIT in, you're doing what you need to be doing. Now, having said that, Bob, I know you want to get better. You want to be a ninja productivity person, right? You want to be total ninja. So here's what I would say if you want to go total ninja. Make sure you really are getting up at that earlier time. And then stumble into the kitchen and make yourself a smoothie, a protein green smoothie. You're saying you're eating breakfast and drinking your first water in the office. That's too late. You want to get 20 to 30 grams of protein into your body in the first 20 to 30 minutes of your day. You want to throw a handful of spinach in that bad boy because you want all of those greens. And then, of course, in the smoothie is a ton of water. We wake up and we're dehydrated 1%, which is enough to interfere with focus and all that. So you don't want to wait an hour to 2 hours until you get to your desk. You can, in literally 1 minute, make your smoothie, 1 minute, drink your smoothie, and man, you are good to go. So then on your commute in, bang back some coffee or some green tea or whatever your pleasure is. And when you sit down at your desk, mentally and physically, you're ready to go, and you don't need to spend any of those minutes, and every minute counts, on breakfast. Shut your door, put your phone in airplane mode and stick it in your desk drawer or throw it on the floor. If you really want to get in the zone, put on those like white noise on Spotify or get some instrumental music. You know, total silence isn't actually what we strive for productivity. We want a little bit of soft noise. Obviously, don't check email, don't check social media, and get into the zone. Do some Pomodoros, 25 minutes of focused working jam sessions, and then pop up and walk around for 5 minutes, guzzle some water, take a few stretches, deep breaths, whatever, then sit back down and bang out some more work. I actually usually go 50 minutes and then a 10-minute break, to each his or her own. Bob, thanks for the question. And I am going to send you a shirt or a mug or something, Bob, because that was really cool. So who did we have on the show last week? Well, it started with Paul Axtell, author of Meetings Matter, 8 Powerful Strategies for Remarkable Conversations. Now, I was a little confused. I'm like, are we talking about meetings or are we talking about conversations? What's this book about? And, he said that the 3 things that make people really effective are perspective, conversation, and relationships. Now, I'm not sure those would be my top 3 things, but that was what he said. And he said everything of value, happens through a conversation. And the other interesting thing, he said that when you run your meetings, you want to run them as the meeting leader for 3 outcomes. First, get the agenda done. Like whatever you came to do, you got to do that. But second, he says, use the meeting as a way to let people feel valued and to build community. So if you want to engage your employees, you want to engage your team members, run your meetings in a way so that they can feel cared for, important, involved. Someone's not adding a lot to the meeting. You could say, hey, Kevin, you haven't really said much today. What do you think about this idea? Bring people out. The third thing is use meetings as a way for people to learn new things or learn, new skills. So those were the three things. And his challenge of the day, he just says, pay attention to who's interrupting people. Just notice when someone's interrupting someone else. And when you do that, you'll be less likely to interrupt yourself when you're in a conversation, but also gives you the opportunity to circle back to people and say, hey, I noticed so-and-so interrupted your thought or your sentence. What else did you want to say? And you're going to win a lot of friends when you notice this and kind of bring them back. Karen Hurt and David Dye, they were our Tuesday guests, I think. I mean, no offense, Karen and David. Most people don't know who you guys are. And Karen is one of my favorite leadership writers. I mean, she has a way with words. I really like the way she writes, her writing style. Karen and David came together and wrote a book called Winning Well. Now, we covered a lot of different ground, and I think one of the big things that they recommended is to spend more time as the boss clarifying expectations. Do your people really know what you're expecting of them? Anytime you're disappointed in someone, really in any area of your life, it often comes down to a misunderstanding around expectations. And this just happened to me within the last week. I'm working with the LEADx editor and Tara, and we're recruiting 100 writers for our platform in 100 days. And, she was coming to me all excited that she had already recruited and signed up 21 writers to the LEADx platform. And that's great. And she has been working hard. But when I probed, not all of these writers had filled out their profile. Not all of them had signed our contributor agreement. Not all of them had posted their first post. They agreed that they wanted to do it. But in my mind, in my expectation is that I wouldn't really say they're writing for our platform or that we have them signed up until they've signed an agreement and put their first post up. So I just clarified that expectation and now all is good. But it would have been better. I would have been a better boss. I would have been a better leader if I had explained up front to Tara, hey, let's agree on what a definition of a contributor to our platform really looks like. And Karen Hurt and David Dye said their 1% challenge. They said, own the ugly. Again, it's like that cool turn of phrase. They said, go have today that tough, uncomfortable conversation that you've been putting off. You got to fire someone. You got to coach someone. You got to, admit that you're going to miss a deadline. Whatever it is, go own the ugly. Then we had Stan Beecham, sports psychologist. His book is Elite Minds. And he said, look, success is not about talent. It's not about experience. It's about the power of mindset. Successful people think differently, channeling some Steve Jobs, or at least some Apple marketing logos there, campaigns. Anyway, this was kind of mind-blowing. So Dr. Beecham said, the real winners, they don't think about winning. The people who win all the time don't think about winning. And as I mentioned, it's baseball season. The best pitchers, they don't set a goal to win so many games in a season, or they don't go into a game saying my goal is to pitch a no-hitter. They don't pick a goal where there are other variables that they can't control, because in the game of baseball, if you're a pitcher, I don't know, maybe there's going to be a horrible error. Someone's going to drop a pop-up and the other team's going to score the winning run. You lose the game. Out of your control. Maybe some batters you're facing are just really, really good and really, really on today. So they crush you. There is another variable called who's at bat. So instead, what winners do is they have confidence that they're going to perform well. And then their goals are around things that they can control 100%. And so, back to a job standpoint, if you're a sales professional, your goal shouldn't be hey, I will absolutely win this contest, because again, there's competitors and stuff, and there's budgets and other variables. What you want to do is you want to give the best sales presentation that you can, or you want to remember to do a strong close, or whatever that is. So you want your goals to be around what you can control. And then we had Rhett Power, author of The Entrepreneur's Book of Actions. And Rhett really focused on, making sure you take breaks or you will burn out. And I've talked a lot about this. When I was young and dumb in my 20s, I was working 100-hour work weeks, sleeping under my desk, and I almost killed someone. I mean, I was just like half asleep at my car, and I'm sure I was a horrible boss. So make time to rest and to recharge. So, hey, listen, before we go for this episode, once again, if you love the podcast, you're going to love the website, because it's not just the podcast guests and what they're doing. We've got some of the best leadership gurus out there, the best career coaches out there, contributing and giving their best ideas and advice every single day. And when you sign up for our LEADx daily email, you're going to get our challenge of the day right into your inbox. When you do finally power up that email, you want to see your challenge of the day. How are you going to get a little bit better? How are you going to push outside your comfort zone just a little bit? Hey, next week, I'm going to be talking to guests who are going to teach us how to build our self-confidence. 2 physicians tell us how to deal with schmucks at work. That's their word, not mine. We're going to talk about the power of uncovering your true purpose. So we got a great week. Listen to all the episodes next week. And I hope you have a good weekend. Until Monday, friends, remember, of course, leadership is influence. We are all leaders. Don't be a bystander at work. Don't be a bystander this weekend in your own home. Lead intentionally.